the Commanding General, the playing of the National Anthem, and the invocation given by Chaplain Candidate First Lieutenant Andrew De Silva.
Let us pray. Eternal God, on this great day, as these men and women become second lieutenants, we thank you for their willingness to undertake this great calling to lead and to serve. We also express gratitude, O God, for those who have taught and led them. Thank you for their family and friends that have supported them, and bless them all as they share in this responsibility. We are reminded that the completion of goals brings the challenge of new opportunities. We ask that these new leaders may be guided by your wisdom as they make challenging decisions and perform difficult tasks. And now, Lord, strengthen each one of us here today to meet every challenge and every threat that might confront us. In your most holy name, we pray. Amen.
Please be seated.
Take seats.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nick Chiara, your narrator for this afternoon's commissioning ceremony. On behalf of the Commanding General of the United States Army Cadet Command in Fort Knox, I would like to welcome you to the commissioning ceremony for the cadets of the 8th Regiment of the 2018 Cadet Summer Training Advanced Camp. At this time, I would like to introduce the following special guests. The Commanding General of the United States Army Cadet Command in Fort Knox, Major General John R. Evans, Jr. The spouse of the Command Sergeant Major, 1st Sustainment Command Theater, Miss Demetris Willett. Former Adjutant General of the United States Army, Brigadier General Retired James Iacocca. Commandant for Cadet Summer Training, Colonel Sean Barnes. And Command Sergeant Major for Cadet Summer Training, Command Sergeant Major Mark Cashman. Each Cadet Summer Training Regiment has the distinct honor of having bestowed upon it a namesake. 8th Regiment Advanced Camp is named in honor of Major General Patrick H. Brady. General Brady spent over 34 years in the Army, serving in stations all over the world. He served in Korea as commander of troops in the Joint Security Area, the Demilitarized Zone, and for 2 years in Vietnam as a helicopter ambulance pilot. While in Vietnam, he was awarded the Medal of Honor for a series of rescues during which he used 3 helicopters to rescue over 60 wounded. At the end of the day, his aircraft had over 400 holes in them from enemy fire. In 2 tours of Vietnam, he flew over 2,500 combat missions and rescued over 5,000 wounded. Major General Brady also served as Chief of Army Public Affairs. This ceremony marks the culmination of years of rigorous and intensive academic, military, and physical training for the cadets seated before you. The Reserve Officer Training Corps has served as a test of their leadership ability and their potential to serve as commissioned officers in the United States Army. They have successfully emerged from this challenge, confident in their ability to assume the tremendous responsibility awaiting them as officers in the United States Army. This commissioning ceremony will consist of 4 parts. First, the swearing to the oath of office. Doctors, lawyers, public officials, and our military are some of the few professions that take such a sacred oath. Second, the pinning of the gold bars. These bars represent the rank of the officer and the honor of the recipient to hold a commission granted by the President of the United States. Third, the first salute. The first salute of a newly commissioned officer involving the presentation of a silver dollar is a time-honored tradition dating back to pre-revolutionary times. It symbolically represents the respect due to the lieutenant's newly earned rank and position. The coin represents more than a dollar in currency. To every new officer, it has special meaning. It signifies the new officer's deep sense of gratitude for the knowledge and expertise enlisted soldiers, especially non-commissioned officers, have passed on to them during training. And finally, the presentation of the commissioning certificate. This certificate signifies not only a cadet's promotion to second lieutenant, but more so, their status as an officer in the United States Army. It is now my honor to introduce our guest speaker, the Commanding General, United States Army Cadet Command of Fort Knox, Major General John R. Evans, Jr.
Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. You've come to the culmination of your training as Army ROTC cadets, and today you will wear the bars of the second lieutenant. So, in one sense, you're at the end of the journey. But in another sense, you're getting ready to begin another exciting journey. So I'm going to ask you to remember a couple of things today, because certainly 20 years from now you won't remember that it was me that was standing here talking to you on commissioning day. But I hope maybe you'll remember some of the things that I have to offer. As we take a look at leadership in the Army, as we take a look at how we conduct ourselves from a doctor's standpoint, we zero in on 3 key leader attributes. The first of these is intellect. And you have been developing your intellect for the last 4 years. You have all achieved your diplomas in school. You've graduated from college, and that's an outstanding achievement. And now you're going to be commissioned as second lieutenants. But the Army's going to take you, and because we rely on your intellect for the decision-making that you will do in the future, we're going to continue to educate you. We're going to provide you with Army-focused training at your basic officer leader course. We're going to give you an opportunity later in your careers to go to your captain's career course, and then some, if not all of you, will end up at the Commander General Staff College or the War College, and there'll be training spread throughout to develop your intellect, because it will be critical for you as you are leaders out there making decisions about the lives of young men and women and about all of the resources that will be placed in your charge as an Army officer. And as you are developing your intellect, I would encourage you to not just think about things in terms of academic learning. Every experience you have will educate you and guide you, will be critical in fostering a better understanding of the situation and making you more intellectually rich. So I encourage you to read and discuss and observe and consume all that is around you to develop that intellect, because it's a key attribute that you will require as an Army leader. The second of our attributes is presence. We talk all the time about presence being important for leaders, how setting an example for the men and women in your charge is important for them to understand that you are willing to endure the same things that they are. And so as you go out there as second lieutenants, be present with your formations. Be available to the men and women that you're going to lead, because your presence will be noticed, as will your absence if you fail to be there. Presence also speaks to having the presence of mind to understand that there are second and third order effects of every decision that you will make. And you will be placed in a position to make difficult decisions. That's why we have trained you so rigorously. That's why we have entrusted you in a way that we entrust no one else with the welfare, the lives of Americans. Your presence and your physical presence will be critical to your success as a leader and our as well. And then finally, last judge, most important is character. Is that attribute on the ground? That is an intent when it comes to trying to measure it, but it's very tangible in the actions that you take, the words that you speak, and the deeds that you do. Character sets us apart from others because it gives you the presence of mind to be able to make decisions in the absence of orders. As young leaders, you're going to be making decisions. Often you will have good alternatives. Things might be black and white. There may be a yes or a no decision. But as you become more experienced and as you grow and mature as officers, you will find that there are very few questions at the senior levels that are black and white. There's a lot of gray. There's a lot of fine line that you've got to skate. And when your orders and your commander's intent and the regulations do not provide you with a clear answer, we will rely on your character to make the right decision. That's how important it is. And so as we kind of wrap this up, because I want to get you commissioned, I want to get you on your path to leadership, I want to tell you a real brief story. On the 16th of March, 1968, a U.S. Army infantry lieutenant took a platoon of soldiers into a small village in Vietnam called Sun Mai. And this was 2 months after the Tet Offensive. So the American military was upset, disturbed, furious. We'd been surprised by Tet. And so orders had gone out that we would be exceptionally brutal and harsh with our enemies when we found them. Seek and destroy. Find the enemy where they are and destroy them. That was the standing order. And this platoon in the Americal Division in San Mai went out with a young lieutenant in charge. And they massacred 500 Vietnamese villagers. And nobody understands or realizes the significance of San Mai because it was actually misread on the map. They transferred the grid coordinates wrong to the village next door, which was actually called My Lai, which we now remember as one of the worst periods of our history of the American military. And when they asked Lieutenant Calley why he did what he did, he said that he was afraid. He was afraid of what would happen if he didn't obey the orders of the officers pointed over him. He was afraid of what might happen if he left that Viet Cong area untouched. He was afraid of what the men that were serving for him might think of him for not going in there and executing orders. About halfway through that bloody day, an American helicopter pilot, a warrant officer, a W-1, brand new officer in the Army, landed at age 13 across from the ditch where they were stacking bodies. And he got out and he said, "What can I do to help you with the wounded women and children?" And while the accounts vary, basically the answer that came back from Lieutenant Calley's platoon was, we don't need any help, we're going to take care of this problem. And that helicopter pilot and his crew of 3 looked at this infantry platoon and he told his door gunner to shoot any American soldier that shot him spare. And the Eli massacre stopped right there. So I don't tell you this on this beautiful, bright day that's so special in your lives to bring you down, because it's a dark, dark story in our American military history. But I tell you because it's important. And I want you to remember how much we're going to rely on your intellect and your presence, and particularly your character. Because when they asked Warrant Officer Warren Hugh Thompson why he gave that order, he said because it's the right thing to do. Because fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, General Evans. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to commission our cadets. Remember, this is your ceremony, so please feel free to move forward to take pictures. At this time, General Evans will render the oath for our commissioning cadets.
Army of the United States. In the grade of second lieutenant. Do solemnly swear. I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely. Without any purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations. The nation's newest second lieutenants will now receive their gold bars. Lieutenants, when I call your name, please come to the front of the stage to receive your well-deserved gold bars, first salutes, and commissioning certificates. Second Lieutenant Erica Castillo. Second Lieutenant Castillo graduated from the University of Toledo with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. She has received a commission into the Army Reserve and has branched Army Nurse Corps. Pinning Second Lieutenant Castillo's shoulder boards will be her parents, Joel and Shannon Castillo. Second Lieutenant Castillo will receive her first salute to Master Sergeant Johnny Fields.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Erica Castillo. Second Lieutenant Nicholas Castro. Second Lieutenant Castro graduated from Washington State University, Spokane with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. Pinning Second Lieutenant Castro's shoulder boards will be his friends, Abel Chaboli and Jose Arellano. Second Lieutenant Castro will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Todd Tribby. Second Lieutenant Castro will now be presented with a commissioning certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you Second Lieutenant Nicholas Castro. Second Lieutenant Juan Davis. Second Lieutenant Davis graduated from the University of South Carolina with a master's degree in social work. Pinning Second Lieutenant Davis's shoulder boards will be Lieutenant Colonel Martin Waybur and Master Sergeant Todd Tribby. Second Lieutenant Davis will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Todd Tribby. Second Lieutenant Davis will now be presented with a commissioning certificate. Second Lieutenant Aiden Ford. Second Lieutenant Ford graduated from Indiana University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice. Pinning Second Lieutenant Ford's shoulder boards will be his father, Mr. A.J. Ford, and his sister, Ms. Chandler Ford. Second Lieutenant Ford will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Retired Chester Scuda. Second Lieutenant Ford will now be presented with a commissioning certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Aiden Ford. Second Lieutenant Luis Martinez. Second Lieutenant Martinez graduated from the Citadel with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Spanish and a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration. Pinning Second Lieutenant Martinez's shoulder boards will be his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Martinez. Second Lieutenant Martinez will receive his first salute from Sergeant Major Isaac Ragusa. Second Lieutenant Martinez will now be presented with a commissioning certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Louis Martinez. Second Lieutenant Sujin Min. Second Lieutenant Min graduated from the University of Washington, Seattle with a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science. She has received a commission into the Army Reserve and has branched Adjutant Corps. Pinning Second Lieutenant Min's shoulder boards will be her friends, Haley B. and Joe Park. Second Lieutenant Min will receive her first salute from Master Sergeant Todd Trivy. Second Lieutenant Min will now be presented with a commissioning certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Min. Second Lieutenant Tiffany Moore. Second Lieutenant Moore graduated from Utica College with a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice. She has received a commission into the Army Reserve and branched Adjutant General Corps. Pinning Second Lieutenant Moore's shoulder boards will be her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Elroy Moore. Second Lieutenant Moore will receive her first salute from Master Sergeant Christopher Barrett. Second Lieutenant will now be presented with the commission certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Tiffany Moore. Second Lieutenant Louis Park. Second Lieutenant Park graduated from the University of Colorado with a Bachelor of Science degree in Neuroscience and Psychology. Pinning Second Lieutenant Park's shoulder boards will be Lieutenant Colonel Michael Davis and Master Sergeant Todd Trivy. Second Lieutenant Park will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Todd Trivy. Second Lieutenant Park will now be presented with a commissioning certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Second Lieutenant Ryan Sinnott. Second Lieutenant Sinnott graduated from the Citadel with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration. Pinning Second Lieutenant Sinnott's shoulder boards will be his mother, Miss Lisa Sinnott. Second Lieutenant Sinnott will receive his first salute from his brother, Specialist Sean Sinnott. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Ryan Simmons. Second Lieutenant Ryan Stewart. Second Lieutenant Stewart graduated from Lock Haven University of Pennsylvania with a Bachelor of Arts degree in History and Political Science and a minor in pre-law. Pinning Second Lieutenant Stewart's shoulder board will be his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Richard Dennis, sister Ms. Dakota Dennis, grandfather Mr. Roland Stewart Sr., grandmother Ms. Donna Chadwick, and his girlfriend Ms. Lisa Heister. Second Lieutenant Stewart will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Todd Tribute. Second Lieutenant Stewart will now be presented the commissioning certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Ryan Stewart. Please join me in a round of applause for our nation's newest Second Lieutenant. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the Army Song. The words to the Army Song may be found in your program. Thank you for attending today's commissioning ceremony. Feel free to utilize the stage for photos and to celebrate this day with your second lieutenants. This concludes